Oh.
Killer of Cereal donated $100. Is it communist to want a joint checking account in a relationship? Gives equal funds for all vibes. Thoughts on sharing funds with partner in all aspects? Capitalism works, communism crumbles.
Thoughts on sharing funds with a partner? I mean, only in a marriage,
Yes, I agree.
but also don't get married. That's my take. No offense. No offense. Sorry to the marriage people here, but I don't believe in getting married.
I agree.
I believe in getting married. Yes, I do.
I would love to get married.
Obviously.
What's the point?
Yeah, right.
Unless you're religious, then you should.
I agree.
Then,
Maybe
if
the
you're
tax benefits.
Yes.
negligible
Yeah.
compared to the
Yeah.
risk.
I feel like there's like
But
benefits. in
negligible.
I actually would agree with Brian. Like, I think we've talked about this before. Like, I agree with the position. Like, you should get married if it's for religious reasons. I don't understand why the secular world gets married. It baffles me. Like, it is a religious institution. It always has been a religious institution. And putting yourself in this contract with like no basis in like objective truth, like there's no like, if we have a disagreement, what are we going to turn to like hash this out? It's like there's too many things up in the air. There's no like no authority over you that keeps you in that relationship. So like for Christianity, like God says divorce is a no. You got to figure it out for yourself.
Well, you have values and principles.
Yeah,
You don't
but-
need a religion
so-
for that.
You can make those up. Like there are certain people in history that had very different values.
No, you don't. You have a disagreement with your husband, and
Yeah.
you think about the hard work and the love and the compromise that you have put through the years. You don't need to have God looking at you. And I respect your religion and I respect how you view that. But talking on my own experience, we are not gonna run away the first time that we have a disagreement, and we're not Christians.
Well,
we
yeah.
believe that marriage is work and you have to work through it, and you're not gonna run away just at the first time that you are not agreeing with your husband.
So-
Do you have a secular marriage?
What is a secular marriage?
Like you guys are not
Not
religious.
religious.
We're not religious, yes.
Okay. You had something?
No, yeah. So I mean, I'll give a quick response to this. There is something you hit on right there. Like we have morals, we have values. I agree with that. Actually, the Bible hits on that. For people who are non-believers, God created man and woman. When He created humanity in general, He imprinted on them His moral law. So man and woman, that's why when we do something bad, we feel that it's bad. Like we know in our core that it's wrong. Now that moral law, that morality can be corrupted. It can be cauterized. The more that we delve into sin, like those things we can become numb to those things. So it depends on the person, but that's why, like generally speaking, humanity has an understanding that there are certain things that are good and there are certain things that are bad.
Right, you have something that tells you inside of you. You say, okay, this doesn't sit right with me. This sits wrong. But overall, in my experience with my husband, we have our bad days, absolutely for sure. But we decide that this is a compromise, and we want to be with each other for the rest of our life. And no matter what, we're gonna make it work. Of course, I mean, if it's something like terrible, like he killed someone, I killed someone, but in daily basis, you make a compromise with that person, either if you're religious or not, and you have to live through that.
I actually think it's an interesting, like, if from a secular perspective, it's actually a rather pro-religious position to say secular people shouldn't get married, because it's like, nah, that should be like, that's for religious people, I think. But I really don't see the point, certainly from the male's perspective, of getting married if you're not religious. I can see the reason why a woman who's an atheist or secular or whatever would want to get married.
I actually, one reason in defense for people who do want to get married, I don't personally want to get married, but it gives you a right over each other in case of emergencies. Like if someone's injured and is incapacitated and someone needs to make a decision, you get no right of any decision of what happens to them. You might not even be allowed to see them if you're not married.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, okay, so there are some considerations in terms of, there's end of or something like healthcare directives. There's a specific terminology for it. But I want to ask the chat a question on this. Couldn't you, in like you have a girlfriend, couldn't you just give her like a power of attorney? No, that's not exactly. You could assign her the same legal power to make decisions for you on behalf. Like in the event of a medical emergency, you could sign some sort of contract, an advanced healthcare directive. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong, saying in the event that I'm a vegetable or in the event that I'm incapacitated, I give this person my proxy, or I give them the authority to make medical decisions on my behalf. So I don't think it requires marriage to do that. Although I think by default, if you are married, I think it removes, like there wouldn't have to be some actual, it would just automatically upon marriage, I think it would give you that level of authority over your spouse's, like a healthcare directive. But it is a valid argument though. You would have some benefit there if there wasn't an existing signed health power of attorney or advanced healthcare directive or something like that. So, but I can't really think of a reason for a man to get married if he's not religious.
That's funny because my husband proposed me and I initially say no.
Perhaps the better statement is, I don't see a reason why a breadwinner should get married, which typically tends to be men, although there's certainly women who can be breadwinners and who are breadwinners.
Well, I'm not. I stay home. I take care of my animals at the farm. I grow food.